I go hard in the motherfucking paint, nigga. Spank it, nigga. What the fuck you thinking, nigga?
Fuck you.
Bomb.
Last name ever, first name greatest. Like a sprained ankle, boy, ain't nothing to play with. Started off local, but thanks to all the haters, I know G4 pilots on a first name basis. In your city, faded off the ground. Nino, she insists she got more class. We know, swimming in the money, come and find me. Nemo.
Black, big and black. You already know what it's in for.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Jack.
Everybody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking kind of dumb with a finger and a thumb in the shape of an L on her forehead.
Gangnam Style. 낮에는 따사로운 인간적인 여자. 커피 한 잔에 여유를 아는 품격 있는 여자. 밤이 오면 심장이 뜨거워지는 여자. 그런 남자 있는 여자. What the fuck?
Come on over, have some fun with
Rebel.
Taxi. Hey, ready to have some fun? I got some kicking music and I'm ready to see you drive. Get those coins out of your pocket, throw them in the machine, and let's get started.
Day after day, I like the rap.
money. Are you ready?
Here we go.
How many times is it gonna take till someone around you hears what you say? You try being cool, you be like a lie. You play by the rules, now it's their turn to try. So back up your rules, back up your jive, 'cause I'm sick of not living to stay alive. Leave me alone, not asking a lot, just don't wanna be controlled. I said it before, I said it again. You can just listen and it might make sense.
Okay, we're live. Welcome, AVIANarters. I'm Mike. I'm here today with another game of Pots and Bones. With me, we got the lovely Clear Mouse. Hello, Clear Mouse.
Yo, Mike, how's it going? Thank you so much for restreaming this. I'm really excited.
I'm excited that you're excited. The runners are about to start, and we got a second comms, Adelor. Hello, Adelor.
Hello. Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever your time zone may be. We're gonna have some fun.
Yeah, absolutely. They are kicking off. I'm gonna people leave. I'll be around in chat. Have a good one.
Sounds great. Thank you so much. Yo, Adelor,
Thank you,
how's
Mike.
it going?
Doing all right. Looking forward to this. I kind of getting some AVIANART going. Still like what the first week groups. We got several matches going already. We got a small key to Skullwoods. You know, those are nice to have actually.
They are, yeah. I mean, so like this mode, okay. So as far as like the reputation of this tournament goes, right? Certainly, it started out as like the meme tournament, right? All the modes are memey. You know, certainly this season it's come back stronger than ever. I think but like so this mode is actually like I think very fun to play. Seems actually to some extent kind of breezy, and yeah, like basically kind of treat it as some version of keys and entrances. The cross keys on steroids with some pots and enemies and whatever. But yeah, like the as you mentioned though, basically just having any small key to like Skullwoods, Ice Palace, kind of applies normally, for these types of modes.
Yep. There are some extra doors in Skull that you would never open. So like having a couple of extra Skull keys is like, yeah, we can go open that silly door with all the pots behind it because that's like what 13 checks now in this mode.
That's
a lot,
right.
Actually.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, so I think when Pato Lotto was first introduced. Oh, sorry, I don't want to give anybody credit or discredit. I believe, at least from what I understood, it was Mike who I think at least gave us the first like real appearance for it. Suddenly, when you see the item counter go from like 216 to like 1,000. 1060 whatever.
Yeah.
Things are be scary. But with pots, as you mentioned though, like the calculus for like what are considered like high value locations, so you see some rooms that you've never seen before. When you played randomizer or even like casually for your normal playthrough for the games. Yeah, suddenly it changes a lot because you don't actually notice a lot of like the pots and different things until you actually have to like start hunting them, right? And you have to see the compass here of Hyrule Castle, 108 locations available with all the enemies and pots. Normally it's like 5, right, or something in Hyrule Castle, or like 10, based on just like the chests and stuff. But yeah, suddenly everything just like amps up.
Yeah, the standard start here is great because you have this 108 check Hyrule Castle, and you're gonna be getting most of those. You might not know where the like. There's actually a fun kind of part early of like determining where the small keys are because you're gonna need like 2 small keys going into the basement to get through it. You might have
that's
to check.
true.
You might have to check a little bit extra castle, or you might be like, is one of the small keys down there? Can I like get one of them and then gamble that and just head down and hope I get the other one? And sometimes that worked out.
Oh, yeah. And you're absolutely correct about that as well, right? So actually we can see, like Jem and Tyler both kind of picking up pots. Oh, so yes, like in this case, the mode technically is we need 216 Triforce pieces, I believe, out of the total 420. Certainly no memory attached to that mode, to 420, at all whatsoever. I'm sure it was just a random one that the, mode creators picked. But yeah, but in this case, like, so yeah, maybe like, if you did mention like we do need at least like 2 small keys or 1 small key to gotta get through. But honestly, if you miss one, probably not gonna be the end of the world. Or as you mentioned, maybe we don't even necessarily need it. And if it's not a Triforce piece, ultimately it's a time saver, right? Because that just means you didn't have to go lift the pot or kill the enemy.
Yeah, we do.
469.
You're always.
Oh, sorry.
Always, yeah, the total's a bit different. It depends. Yeah, the totals are.
Oh, okay. Perfectly balanced. Thank you. Okay. All right. Well, 469 certainly. That's also not a funny number at all. I'm sure. For sure, everything was just randomly generated through some RNG bots.
It looks like one of our small keys is down here on the path, actually, because it seemed like these 2 combed the top of the main floor and did not find it. So we're gonna find it maybe as late as on the vanilla blue guard here.
Yeah, very, very possible. Yeah,
And
she did see in this case. Yeah.
This castle basement section is interesting because you got to be careful with all these blue guards on the catwalk to not hit them in the hole because that will not get you the item drop, and it can be a bit of a task to actually get the drop off of them.
Yeah, no, that's actually, I think that's actually one kind of like observation that people were starting to make. Because normally, when you especially don't have to kill every enemy for whatever reason, right? Unless you actually wanted to do a full completions on your own, there actually has to be, as you mentioned, some care. Because if you knock them off, which is pretty normal for any other playthrough except for this one, then you can't actually claim the prize. And it's it's a little bit more tedious to have to like go back and reset the room, or you have to maybe try and get it on your way back. But yes, like it is a different way of playing for sure. Okay, all right. So we do actually find for coincidence or not, I'm not sure how this necessarily worked out, but at least for Jem, getting a little bit of a head start rescuing Zelda to go back to the throne room. He does have the correct 42 checks that you're supposed to make before you actually end up delivering, Zelda to the next room. 42, it is actually the right number. Whoever picked that did something right.
It worked out just exactly as it needs to be.
Exactly, yeah, as you said, Dr. Earworm also pointing out correctly that, Tyler keeping up with the theme of the tournament and the match. I don't know if he could actually keep his rupee count throughout the rest of the seed. I think it will be extremely challenging. However, though, at least for the time being, he's doing a good job.
It is a very respectable commitment to the bit, and I appreciate it.
Now, if only we can maybe get, if we can get rupee increments of like 100, again, or we somehow magically make it, to 420, that would also be an acceptable number to stay.
Yeah. It will be extremely difficult to hold that with pottery, though, because you're going to have just rupees all over the place. It's
Yeah, and I know for what it's worth, I do really appreciate the developers. I know that I think this is generally off the Doors branch. They're going to be like sometimes when the pots, when they have rupees or arrows or like even bombs for that matter, like some of them have been swapped in with instead of like 20 rupees as an item, it's like 20 rupees as a drop. So then you don't actually have to wait for like the fanfare to go, pick it up, such as these like Triforce pieces. Really, actually, over the course of how man, you see these pots and bones collection rates being like 800, 900, you know, out of the thousands or whatever. You do appreciate the little time saves that really do add up because you're doing a lot of them.
There's our first glove in the snake room here in Castle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, very yeah. Again, like more for normally when you do standard escape, right? Even though you do have a fighter sword or whatever other maybe weaponry that you have, the whole goal is just to kind of dash through all the ropes and not care. In this case, again, you gotta take a little bit of extra time to actually go and like kill everything.
Yeah, it really messes with kind of your normal, like, you cannot autopilot through your castle basement section. Like, no, you have to stop and kill everything because
Exactly.
you don't want to leave like one of your crucial small keys behind or any sort of early progression. Like, you probably just completely clear a castle because there's just so much early stuff that could be in here.
Oh yeah, for sure. And so yes, like we did, as you mentioned, we found our first glove. So the chance of you kind of like missing out on, especially like at areas that have high density enemies or pods, probably pretty low. But versus like it's just extremely, I guess, like unlucky or whatever. Maybe not necessarily as strong as unlucky, but if you happen to miss, you can get like 107 out of 108 or 106 out of 108 coming out of escape. Hopefully you didn't miss something extremely important, but at the same time, it's maybe if you did miss something, it's not going to come back and bite you.
Yeah, there's like one rat that's running around the darkest in the other side of the room. You're like, you know what? I need to get out of here. I don't have time to chase this one rat down.
Exactly. Yeah.
And what are the odds
Although-
that one rat has like like the bow you need to progress in the sea? There's some bottleneck or
Exactly.
something. Like,
Yeah,
you're probably
exactly.
fine missing a rat or two.
Yeah, and honestly, we did see the Cane of Samari, I think, pretty early, right, in Hyrule Castle. But honestly, like, even if we maybe missed the glove, you still have maybe some outs because right, Mike mentioned that total 469, you need 216. It's kind of like a little under half the game, right? Like, could you get away with not even needing mitts? Like maybe actually,
Maybe.
like maybe maybe there's just another glove somewhere that's free, or so.
It's entirely possible that you end up just like not having your second glove or your moon pearl, and if the entrances work out crazy enough, like because you only need like half the pool, right? Like you're gonna have a lot of seeds of this where just not like some major items don't pop up that you would expect to see in like almost every other game.
Exactly. Yeah.
We are almost
Definitely
done with the
agree.
castle, getting out of the final couple rooms here, cleaning up these last few rats and pots.
Yeah, it looks like also the count looks pretty accurate, or at least, pretty completionist. Yeah, so 105 coming out of this room. We got 2 more rats to kill, and then of course we have the sanctuary chest. So like Jen, I believe also Tyler's looking on pretty good track to actually having full cleared out the entirety of Escape, which is pretty good.
I was gonna finish up the
and-
rats here in the room, but yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, we got 29 triangles coming out of the castle sequence, and let's see where Sank kicks out. And we are at the magic bat hole, so we are right near
Sounds
Kakariko. Lots of entrances to check. Ooh, hookshot
Yeah,
cave.
yeah, super. Oh,
Alright. Hookshot cave.
well, yeah.
This
Do we
place- This place is obnoxious in pottery. Let me tell you, you gotta fall in like 3 times just to bonk over and get like the pots that you can access. Gem's having none of it. We're just gonna go out the other side and see where it goes.
Yeah. Admittedly, right? We talked. I was even saying earlier that this mode is kind of breezy, right? You basically, again, it's you're going after high density. You don't have to full clear everything. If you decide to delay indefinitely some areas because you think they're very tedious, like go for it. And then, first thing we see is, especially if you are pretty adept with those boots, Hookshot Cave is somewhere that could certainly be an exercise for you. Yeah, but maybe not necessarily our first top priority, and first thing kind of coming out of Escape here.
Yeah, so
I don't
Tyler's going
know.
to show us what it's like to do some bonking over and have to get to these 2 islands and get some stuff. You have to fall in a couple times to get everything. But it might be worth it. You never know. Probably not, but gotta try.
Yeah. I will say though, so I've seen some spoiler logs for the Pots and Bones ones, like especially coming out of the asyncs, and I have to whoever came up with some of the names for these locations, it's so some of them are I think actually kind of somewhat fitting. I don't have a better name for the record, but it's some of the Hookshot Cave islands are like the Bonk Islands and like the Hookable Islands, and some of the escape rooms are Yet More Rats Room. I think some of these names are so great. Just even looking at them.
James found the Aga Tower. We can do 4 checks in here. We got a Hera small key.
Yeah. Okay.
Neat.
Oh. Yeah, always well,
Harrow
exactly. You know, I don't.
Basement actually like kind of exciting in this mode though. There are a bunch more
That's
checks in Harrow Basement.
actually. Yeah, actually, that's actually a very good point. And in fact, and you know, when people are kind of like looking at like oh Harrow Basement, like you see like the small key, people kind of like you know we can sit through tile room. Well, actually, you know, yes, there is a chest back there, you know, behind tile room, but there's also, as you mentioned, there's a couple pots in that room as well. Like there are two of them, right? Because especially like the one that's very common is the one with the big magic drop at the you know on the right side. But there are two more checks behind it, and there are a bunch of checks actually right before tile room as well. So you know, again, like these are things that maybe you don't think about until you kind of start playing this mode. You know, so you basically trying to realize where all the different plots and enemies are.
Yeah, it's really like rediscovering Rando because there's a lot more you have to do. Like this this room that Gem's in right here. We're gonna go north through this door.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
You never go through this door, even in Doors Shuffle. You don't go through this door, but in this mode where the enemies are dropping stuff, you're going in here. You're going in this trap room.
Oh, right here. All right, Jem's actually gonna try and line up and kill them. Yeah, this is actually really
very nice.
Yeah.
And the front of desert in general is a very nice, dense, like chunk of checks. This is really nice to find early on.
I would say probably the only tedium part is like so these forgot what they're called, sand ants or whatever. Like they're just slightly delayed, right? Because they like tunnel in and out, and so you gotta wait a little bit. But yes, as you mentioned, like the density is certainly very, very much there. I will also say whoever kind of like created this mode, the pots and boats. I mean, so yes, okay. So I guess the full is like Pot Lotto, key drop. No enemizer here, but it's kind of Triforce Hunt. I think the quality of life improvement to have the red boomerang, and of course starting swords may actually end up killing everything. It just make things go like a lot smoother execution wise, especially
yeah.
You used to actually see him basically use the red boomerang like a ton, right? Just basically, you know, you don't have to run over there and pick up everything, right? You know, it doesn't sort of save you a little bit extra time.
Yeah, guaranteeing that starting with a sword just like really makes the opening a lot more smooth. You just have a weapon, you can deal with all the enemies in castle and just not have to worry about killing things in a tedious manner.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think, you know, actually, like I think the whole point of this tournament, as you know, as Dr. Earworm also kind of alluded to, it's all, I think the emphasis really is on just having fun. Like I know there's definitely still challenge, you know, to every single mode, and you know everything that you do still. You know, I don't think this mode is necessarily like considered like, you know, baby or beginner or easy, but it is certainly, it plays very well, right? So like it may be a little bit longer, could be still a little bit more challenging, but it's fun, right, to play, so it's enjoyable, so people have a good time. And I think it's also, it seems like it's a player favorite because I think it's actually the most chosen mode so far, thanks to my statistics. Pots and bows with inverter Christmas sizer, whatever, later, second. But yeah, like I think people really like this mode.
Yeah, it's really quite the new hotness. I enjoyed it a lot. I played like a few of these, and I've lashed onto it just as hard as I did with True Pot Hunt. It is a lot of fun.
Yeah, and of course you get boot start, right? How could you possibly go wrong, you know, with boot start? Boot start with the sword. Yeah. Well, yeah. So talking about just more density, right? Even the front of desert, right? Even like the front rooms, you actually see Gem doing even like the circle of pots, right? Circle of pots now. You know, if you get to the circle of pots in the back of Aga Tower, obviously a lot of items there. You actually do see here Tyler in the back of Skull Woods, also a lot of density. Some of the enemies are maybe just
those are yeah.
Yeah, a bit more challenging on Fighter Sword than these desert, whatever these guys are called, enemies. Yeah, it is quite difficult. And you know, honestly, like I think it's, you know, like yeah, Tyler's gonna maybe, you know, try his luck in some other locations. A very good decision in my opinion, very pragmatic. Maybe come back with better equipment. And again, you know, if you even if you leave maybe something quote unquote there important, major, you know, you're looking to complete maybe slightly under half the game, right? You know, if you can't get that branch, go for another branch. I'm sure you'll be fine.
Yeah.
And even if you're not, you know, worst case, right, you go back to it. But maybe by that point, you've got, you know, better equipment, right? More armor, more safety, better sword, fire rod, you know, something that will help you out.
Yeah, the general strategy of this is like, because again, you only need like about half your pool. Like you're gonna mostly clear a dungeon, or most dungeons you run into when you're checking entrances, you're gonna clear it as much as you can, and you're probably not going back after that, unless your first dip is like a little bit of it, and then you come back later with a bunch of like extra keys and stuff that give you a lot more that makes it worth the second trip.
Oh, for sure.
Entrances at a really convenient spot. Yeah, it's there's just a lot of partial clearing because you're just trying to go real for density all the time.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you on that. And in fact, I don't know what people's scales are for degenerate routing or clown routing or whatever it is, right? But I mean, it is really about trying to maximize. I think what is the metric? CPH, right? Collections per hour. This was a very popular one. I think that was measured in the asyncs. And it is actually a pretty good proxy, honestly. So if you think there are some, longer checks, right? Maybe you don't want to do cutscene chest and mire. Maybe you don't want to actually, sit through Hera basement for tile room, or even they're going to be, you don't want to go to Ice Tea or whatever, right? Like I think those are actually very valid skips. That you choose only one or a few, and not basically going to be worth your time.
Yeah, you're never gonna like run to Catfish because it's just like the really slow single checks just don't. There's so much better density anywhere else.
Yeah, and of course, this also certainly being a race, right? Like if something for whatever reason ends up getting like super bottleneck, let's say on one of these very long checks, right, or kind of isolated ones, chances are your opponent didn't rush that location, right? So you're probably gonna be fine either way. Just about. You can just basically rush to the first. Ooh,
there's a flute and a vanilla cackwell. Hey, that's exciting.
Convenient, yeah.
I'm sorry, a flu.
Oh yes, you're right.
I pronounced it wrong.
This is flu season. You are absolutely correct. Now does Tyler get a free flu though? Because he is a goose. He's not the goose, I think, right? Or is he the goose? I guess I can't tell.
The goose that's loose? I don't know.
Yes, that one. we need Tyler to strike a pose. Can you do that, Tyler, while Gem's food is activated?
There's our library in Kakariko. One little triangle. We take those.
Oh yeah.
If you, in case you're not familiar at all with this mode either, if you notice on Tyler's screen right now, you get that little blue flashing square that's below the rupee count. That is an indicator that tells you that there are enemies on this tile, on the super tile, that you have not killed for their drops yet, or you don't have their you haven't checked all the drops basically from enemies. So, and it will continue flashing if there's like an item on the ground that is like you have to pick it up to actually get it, like a Triforce piece or a heart piece or whatever. But if it's just like an arrow or a rupee drop or whatever, so just like a normal drop, those ones just count as being received even if you don't touch them.
Oh yeah, I think at least for this mode it is an immense quality of life improvement, because again, like it's really hard to be able to kind of play, like especially if you don't necessarily know if you've gotten everything that you want to. I think I saw somewhere in Discord, at least it was a review from Skelly saying that I was very something to the effect of I was very wary of this mode, and then I found out about the little blue light indicator. Now it's like my favorite, and I was I think that's actually a very accurate statement. It's suddenly you just have a lot of things kind of help you. Again, this mode just plays very fluidly. You always have something to do, right? There's kind of no well, for better or for worse, there's no downtime, right? You just have to keep going. So it's just a lot of action. Ooh, all right, yeah, and especially speaking of more action, we are here in Hera. It looks like did we get this one on time? Looks like no. But it's fine.
Yeah, Tyler does not have the key. Yeah.
I guess we also don't have the hook shots, so we can't really get upstairs. But there is still good amount of stuff you can get before the big key door. Yes, you can go upstairs to go kill the beetles. You can go kill all of the enemies, and I see this actually may be where that boomerang is gonna shine a little bit if this Kadongos end up dropping stuff.
Yeah, like the drops and being in the cage, there you might have to actually have an item to grab them. Yeah. Yeah, and also Gemma voluntarily doing Agina's cave, huge time loss as indicated by Mike and chat.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta maybe take a position, right? Take a gamble. These are the gambles here in Pots and Bones. I would actually not. Okay, would I have been surprised if Gem just turned straight around? Even maybe, but I guess it maybe would not necessarily be out of expectation. You actually see, and you mentioned this earlier, right? How do you kill the beetles without kind of activating either the floor or having them drop to the one below? Tyler is being very careful.
Yeah, this is another one with having enemies and don't knock them in the pits. You don't get the drops. Jim has found the back of Old Man Cave up at Lumberjack House. We're gonna do. There are 6 pots in total in this cave, and then we can go through here and see where the other side comes out. And as you might have also noticed, when we found Ganon at Lumberjack Drop, we don't care where Ganon is. We're not fighting him. This is literally just a Triforce hunt. So it's good to know, though, that we don't need to complete Aga Tower for anything in particular.
Yeah, that's true. So that 4th Aga Tower key is not going to be an easy. I would. Okay, would I be surprised if we found all 4 of them? Like, probably not. It might be under expectations.
I mean,
but
there are enemies
like...
behind the 4th AT small still.
Oh,
Like, it could be
oh yeah. Well, I think we. Yeah, actually, yes. I believe you're correct. You're right. Yes, there are enemies all the way, like even the catwalk, right, leading up to Aga Tower. So yeah, Aga himself. Yes, correct. You are correct. See, this is. I only think key drop. You only need 3 keys to complete to get to the Circle of Pots, dude. But you are correct. This is Pots and Bones. We also care about the enemies as well. So yes.
Tyler's found a couple of interesting entrances in the Mire area. We got Potion Shop and Ice Palace. Ice Palace is a really nice, dense dungeon. We're gonna need some stuff to get into it though, like a Moon Pearl and a Fire Water Bombos. So we'll be back there later probably.
Yeah, that's true. For those of you who might be trying to keep track of like what enemies, items that both Tyler and Jem have picked up. If you are maybe not as familiar with some of the memes that have been going on Jem's tracker, might be like a good reference to maybe see on Tyler's screen first before maybe looking over. But there are some very very fun icons on Jem's tracker to be able to see. But going back to the original point, there is no Fire Rod and there is no Bombos on both either Jem or Tyler's side. So all memes aside, we still can't actually get into Ice Palace as you alluded to before.
Found the left side of the Deathmount Return Cave. For the lower side of it, we're going to call it. There are 6 pots in total in this connector.
Oh no, yeah. These ball and chain guards. I mean, I think kind of also like Yippos. I think Tyler was kind of alluding to this earlier. They certainly they're very endurance heavy. In that they're very harder to beat, so especially on Fighter Sword. In this case, like you probably still want to defeat them, but it's just in terms of being able to get the item or drop from them, it is certainly less efficient. But yeah, speaking of though, all right, so Tyler's gonna be finished. We have found yet another dungeon.
Eastern Palace. Oh, that's Eastern Palace. Okay, fair enough. Commit to the bit.
Very. No. I might have some words for Jem after this. Eastern, among a lot of dungeons, dungeons seem to be certainly extremely high value, just in general, for these locations, because especially we saw in the Front of Escape, we had 108 checks available for us. I think even in Eastern, in the front sphere 1, whatever you want to do, like basically with no other item requirements, you can certainly still get a lot of checks. So maybe Jem in this case wanted to try and get maybe just a little bit extra, small key to Eastern.
Yeah.
Big key to Eastern, something maybe to help him out a bit. I can understand.
Yeah, we have 1 small for Eastern, and that is worth something. That 1 small key, you're gonna not spend it on the right side to go towards big key chest. The better value is to take it to the back if you have the big key.
Yeah.
I don't believe we have that, so.
That is correct. So yeah, I guess we could see in this case if Jem wants to save that small key. Like as you said, right? So especially in key drop, there are 2 Eastern small keys available. One certainly is on the Dark Igor, I guess, like in the back after the big key. The big key door. And then the other one, of course, is in the Dark Square pot key, which you use, as you mentioned, to go to the big key chest. So the fact that we don't have big key means that it won't probably do us any good, but he could get maybe a couple more pots and stuff in the big key chest room. I don't know. We're gonna see.
Considering
right?
where Eastern is on East Mountain, like we probably just see Jem use the key on big key chest side and just don't come back ever.
Yeah. I mean, I can certainly understand that as well. Yeah, and I think just based on observation, the likelihood or the frequency of people actually completing dungeons in this mode is so I have seen it, but it is I would say much less common than certainly. I mean,
most bosses don't get killed. Yeah, they're just
Anyway, but that being said, though, like if you can get back to the back of Eastern Palace with double readies and all of like the kill room right before the Armos boss, it is a lot of checks back there. So.
And Jem not forgetting the 3 sneaky pots in Eastern.
Yes, very, very good. Yeah, I would say probably one of the few, one of the gotchas of, I would say, pot sanity or pot lotto is, you can't see those. Yeah, but we were just there.
Yep,
Or at least on Tyler's side.
three sneaky pots in Eastern under that right side chest, and then there are two in the back of Skull. And you'd think like there might be more in this game, like particularly in the front of Thieves. Nope, just those are the 5. That's it.
Did we just find the Bikini Eastern Palace?
Hey, was
On
it?
Jump side? It was underneath the
Oh,
pot. Well,
oh, okay.
that is suddenly.
Well, now
I
we're
guess
going to the back because the value is
yeah.
better.
Hilarious.
How convenient.
Zelga and Wall Kicks might be in shambles playing this mode. All right. Now, I think if we do find a bow, though, I assume you're gonna do Armos, or if you do end up finding bow, it's just like you're in some one room
If
over.
you get a bow, like you can get more. There's more density in the back. Like you may as well just because there's that one room that's behind the red Igor that has what 14 checks in it. Now you may as well kill Armos while you're back there.
Right. Yeah.
If you get a bow, yeah.
Yeah. Right. That's right.
We're gonna
Yeah,
use
we
pots.
should see-
Too early there.
Oh, yep, yeah. We actually see, speaking of a lack of bow, you actually see in this case Gem trying to use the pot because it does tempered sword damage. But basically, I think one pot kills the Igor, so we'll end up seeing he's trying to speed things up a little bit. Assuming he doesn't get killed here. Also, these pots, I think you probably want to use them, but of course,
Yeah.
you pick up a Triforce piece or some item, you automatically just throw the pot. So.
Yep, it is a difficulty potentially of pottery in that you want to use a pot to throw it at an enemy to kill it, but like anytime there's something underneath that pot you have to pick up, you're gonna lose the pot.
Exactly. Yeah.
Desert
Yes.
Small. Oh, Desert Smalls are good to have.
Ooh, they are. Yes.
Especially if you find the back of Desert. That's where you really want to spend your Desert Small keys because most of the density is back there.
Yeah, that's true. And yeah, the right side desert chest, like where the map and compass chests are. Yeah, there are a couple extra enemies, right? That would
There are 4 popos in there, so there's 6 in total. But like, the density for the back of Desert just tends to be still more worth it for your small keys.
Yeah. And right, this is being key dropped. There are 4 total desert keys out there. You do need only 3 to beat the dungeon normally in key drop. Good on Gem for not accidentally opening the door. That would have been kind of sad.
Yep.
With a small key. But yes, like especially maybe if you don't have intentions to actually beat out the dungeon, you could actually end up using small keys kind of like to your. But yeah, I definitely agree that if you can make it more weights the back, then that is definitely much more worth your time. We also have, by the way, nice starting lamp, nice quality of life improvement. Also, I think remove some of the logic of these dark rooms. But without a bow to try and kill these Igor is also a giant pain. So there are a lot of Triforce pieces here at Eastern. We're actually really seeing again, for the dungeon value and density is really good.
Jim tried to go for that pot to throw out the Igor, but it was camped by like 17,000 triangles. He was not getting it.
All right, it looks like we're
gonna reset the room and try to get the pot back. Yeah. Actually kill the Igor. There you go.
Oh, I see. Okay. Ooh, okay.
Tyler's found
Meyer. Yeah, it's really great. And again, yeah. So even the beginning of Meyer, sometimes you see it, you don't have boots or hook shots, so you're just like, okay, I'm gonna leave. The first room, do you see all those enemies? You can actually get some stuff.
I think in some modes, you with this equipment, you find Meyer. You're like, nah, Meyer 2's a pain in the ass. I'm gonna come back later. You may as well just do Meyer 2 like this because Meyer 2 is so many checks by itself.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, like all the items. So while maybe it's somewhat deceiving, and that Meyer says it's like a 91 total check dungeon, like especially in this case Meyer is very, very front loaded for the first like couple rooms, right? It's very much just even worth your time to try and get in. Even for the first room, you can't do anything necessarily.
And Meyer is also like really spread out and kind of locked behind a number of like you need keys or items to get parts of Meyer accessible.
Right.
So. But yeah, Meyer. Oh, there's a Quake medallion. Neat. We might use that for something. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean,
those skulls hit for 4 damage when on green. Yeah, gotta be careful there.
All right. Looks like Gem was unfortunately not be able to find a bow. I think though. Okay.
Gem
We're just gonna. Yeah. The Fairy Revival Club going strong in 2024.
Save and quit.
I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Like actually, the save and quit there is fine because like there are no other entrances at that part of the mountain to even check. That you just get out of there. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, so speaking of, so I don't know if this is necessarily common. It might be a bit more common to see, I don't know, maybe like lower health. I mean, I don't know if it's kind of a combination of like Podolado or like just Triforce Hunt or something like that, but we actually do see that Tyler is, he's still surviving, 4 hearts. Gem has maybe gotten a bit luckier, maybe with heart pieces or heart containers and such, sitting at a, very comfortable 6 hearts, but still, you can actually see in this case, Tyler is still pretty fragile, right? Like you mentioned, right, a lot of the enemies still do kind of like 4 hearts of damage, and yeah, he's certainly very much within 1-hit KO mode.
I'm gonna check the drop down that's at Castle, or that Orbit Sanctuary. We're gonna find the bat there.
Yeah, very worth it. In fact, we got 2 checks. Yeah, don't groan whenever you see magic. Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
What are we do? Fake powder?
We have
okay.
mushroom and Maria. Yeah.
I very much approve. Okay, so normally I do not condone fake powdering, but this is AVIANART. Okay, this is pots and bones. You have to do like all the meme things here. Okay, I expect full non-serious gameplay here. What are we gonna get? Are we gonna get rewarded?
No.
Okay. Well, the game did not have the same humor as us. Doesn't it know that's supposed to be? It's supposed to reward us with something good. Alright, but looks like in this case, Gem does not really have any better. He does have a little bit extra health, for what it's worth, than when Tyler came here. So he at least is not in strict danger, I guess, of one-shotting from the Gyptos, but of course Gyptos combo him. He's still kind of in trouble. But yeah, it's not really going to get that much faster in terms of Gypto disbursement.
That's our last drop to check. Fairies at Pyramid. We will never be seeing that ever, ever, ever.
Yeah.
There's nothing. There's nothing
right.
in Fairy. There's not even any additional paths to look at, and that would require clearing GT. Like, no. I mean, not to say the GT climb isn't worth it, because the GT climb is quite worth it. There's a lot of density actually on the GT climb. If you can go up, it's worth it.
Yeah. And in fact, so even if you, the normal thinking is like, oh, I can't climb until I have the GT Big Key, right? Well, okay, you know how many items and pots and enemies there are before the GT Big Key door?
Yeah, actually,
more than 0.
Especially if you have a bow, or you can like deal with all the mimics. Like it's extremely worth it to go through that middle door, just get that first floor, that first tile. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. All right, so it looks like Gem's actually, so you do see him like hesitating a little bit before kind of entering the hallway in order to try and take out the Gyptos. He certainly has survived all the Gyptos. Looks like it wasn't really that fruitful in terms of just drops and stuff, but we are actually going to sequence break out with this really nice lamp here in the back. Well, it was always really cool to see, to be able to see like lamp sequence breaking out fire rod locations.
Yeah. Not a particularly difficult sequence break here, yeah.
Yes, it's certainly probably one of the more straightforward ones. I think it's like when people, oh my god, Gems. Okay, we just have to survive first. He really wishes to have
killed
that
by many
berry.
worms.
Yeah.
We're gonna skip the Gypto. It's like too much effort to kill.
I fully understand. So far though, the back of Skull hasn't really been that exciting. I mean, okay, yes, there is one Triforce piece, but in terms of just like other things, I mean, for all the time that you've spent basically back here with all the enemies, everything's fine.
Trying to get the spike kill on the Gypto here.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
It's okay.
Exit the dungeon. Tyler gets a triangle off the old man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still. Old man is probably one of the things. I assume you still rescue impossibles like what Tyler did, but it's certainly on the longer set of checks, right? So I can understand if you don't necessarily want to, do old man. But certainly in this case, it was very worth it for Tyler to be able to at least get a piece out. Yeah. So
there's one pot in the east half of Old Man Rescue Cave, so you know.
True. Yeah, that's also very true too. So it's double value. So actually, that's actually yeah.
Yeah, how much excitement in general on the West Mountain here, actually. Not much going on. At least so far. We could have this entrance be cool, maybe, hopefully.
Maybe.
Chicken nut. That's 2 items.
Chicken hut? Okay, yeah, that's a very good reminder. Yes, we actually did see that in non-Podolado, that is a chicken. We have actually seen chickens being also shuffled into the pool. So you may not have recognized the chicken in its like book form that we did see, but I think there was actually one on the back of Skull was that both Tyler and Gem found. So. so we just have to see. So I think this might be the end of his South Kakariko exploration. And again, again, Spiral Cave, you're just like, oh, I have to run through all this long cave. Not miss. Okay, so I guess it's only like the underworld, like the dungeon enemies that have been shuffled. You don't have to kill. Actually, do you have to kill them? Yeah, I don't know. You do have to kill. Yeah. Okay, they're in caves. Yeah. You would see like a blue light. That means that they're still potentially being able to drop things. I have not seen any good drops though in this case. Okay, one. Alright, Tyler though has
Doing a little creative little bomb jump. Yeah, I like it.
Oh yeah.
It's not a bomb jump you like ever see, but yeah.
Yeah, he's also again taking very care to try and kill the beetle and having it drop something as opposed to just knocking it down in the pit.
Yep. Still have to be careful of that.
Yeah, you see. Yeah, see, I think you gotta do so.
Actually, getting the grabbing the pot and avoiding the Triforce piece to pull the hard hat with it. Yeah.
Okay, we saw the gem. Try to do the gamble game to get a little extra cash. His practice does not pay off. For some reason, he always likes the right chest, but we can actually see clearly from this one instance that the right chest is never worth it. Okay, you only get 1 rupee out of it, which is the worst possible price. All right, I hope you're listening, or you'll hear this.
Also, Tellerman makes a good point. Like in this mode, when you're starting boots, you can totally check that entrance before going into castle.
True. Oh, actually, that is true. I have seen. In fact, at the first time I think I saw it, I was like,
yeah.
It's just like I just never actually occurred to me, but it is. You are absolutely correct. It is very, very much a thing.
Oh,
Can we get the bottle? Cool. Nice boomerang usage. That is actually pretty exciting. Also, yeah, reminding us here. No, Tyler, do you need to go back?
Tyler, get the pot.
Oh,
he's a bunny for me.
He's a bird. Never mind. Never mind. Hard to tell these days. Okay, Jen does not want to do torches because it is.
There's no fire rod. Yep. Jem gonna do like one of the longest checks in the game here?
Oh, yeah.
No,
so this
okay. So that tile room that's in that northeast door, there is one pot behind it. Jem is like, no, not interested. Ooh, a sword.
But
Hello.
We get here. Oh yeah, Master Sword. While it is not a Triforce piece though, it basically can speed up your combat and combat time.
Considering how much you have to fight things in this mode, yeah, we take those.
Do you see Gyptos, hard hat beetles? I mean, you see all the slashing we had to go do earlier. So, I mean, I don't think it's quite like 2x, right? But it is very, very useful.
Tyler's back in Hera now, has that small key. We're gonna go into the basement and get a bunch of checks.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he does want the big key, right? That Jem got from somewhere.
A big key was in Eastern, I believe. So no.
Eastern. Yeah. You are actually you're
Tyler has not been in there yet, but you can see now we're gonna see all the value that's in Hera basement here.
Yeah.
Or the potential value. I mean, there's density.
Yeah, that's true. We actually kind of see. I think Skull Woods actually is usually pretty. Even the back of Skull Woods is pretty high density value. However, though, in this case, I don't actually think there was a lot back there. So, I mean, this is still randomizer, right? Just because you go after high density stuff, it's just correlated with you have a better chance of getting some things. But just like this, right? If you just have 6 pots sitting here with like 5 Triforce pieces and a small key, that's obviously way better than having 30 checks or something and having like 2 pieces. Alright, we are so Tyler actually did sit through the entirety of Tile Room.
So you got several more back here. You got the 3 mini Moldworms, the 2 Stalfos, the 4 checks back here. It's pretty good density.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You can't hate Hera basement this mode. That's what I'm
That's true. And I know that there are people out there who have like I love Hera basement emotes out there, just ahead of your time, right?
Just enough magic light to torches actually.
That's actually a really good point because normally, again for the game design, if it's not Potalato,
full magic,
you can always depend on either the full magic or the small magic, and that is not the case here. Resource management certainly becomes a lot more prevalent, basically in this mode.
And it's worth noting, in case you weren't aware, if flying enemies like Keys never count towards the mobbery checks because it's possible for them to like fly off above a wall somewhere where you can't kill them or their drop can be inaccessible. So those are never counted. Oh, and he's I guess he could Giga Hover. Yeah, I went for it. Tried it once and no, I'm out of here. Never mind.
No, we're all good. Actually,
If you ever
speaking
see
of, right?
ever see bumper ledge bottom, don't forget those 5 pots. The first pottery
Oh,
seed I
yeah,
ever played
yeah.
of this, there was actually like a hard bottleneck of a big key in bumper cave pots that I just didn't get.
Really?
I forgot
Oh,
it
that is.
completely. I didn't complete that seed. I had to look at the spoiler and like, what did I miss? I'm like, oh, hi
I
Paradox.
see. Yes. Well, hello. Yeah. Hello, Paradox. Yeah. Gems. Again, you got a lot of indecision here, right? For like, okay, how am I supposed to do this? What's the best way to do this? I
Yeah.
was thinking. Speaking of hovering, though, we had still seen Hookshot Cave that was around. Very beginning. We don't have a hookshot, but I don't think it's ever stopped Jen before from trying to do something. But in this case, yeah, we'll see. Actually, yeah, I'm right. I think this has also been maybe brought up before in like other observations from people. Was so Hype Cave 5-item location, very good value in regular rando, but again when you throw in pots in the mix, right? It's only 5, as opposed to like Graveyard Ledge, for example, right? Is now 9. It's so much higher value. Okay, alright, so we're already at slightly under, like, okay, we have 110 on Gem's side, we have 90 on Tyler's side, and just, in this case, just trying to just be as, efficient and as dense as you can. I think both players are making, like, pretty good progress. I'm really glad to see that Tyler is no longer in 1-hit KO mode, especially jumping off that ledge from the Murder Dactyl. That is, that's not a usually good location you want to overworld death on, or overworld warp on.
No. Jim's popped out at Dark Shopping Mall. We're gonna act like we're gonna get the information, but we don't really care. We're just gonna save and quit.
That's right. Yeah, I'm not even sure. I mean, even in, I think, regular, like, just cross keys or entrance, finding out 5-6 if you don't have to, like, I mean, I think it's still nice to know, and maybe, like, the pyramid entrance location, is going to be useful.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, yeah, but honestly, like, you probably only just care about what the crystals are. Like, you have 2 more crystal dungeon information, but here,
yeah,
again, I mean, do you care? Do you care at all about the crystal pendants?
You really
like,
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really don't. It's extremely unlikely that you're gonna need to know that.
Yeah, for sure. Alright. Good on Tyler. Tyler's also finding Death Mountain Descent Cave, and then also getting the pots. But again, these are very important pots. I mean, not for this particular seed, because it doesn't look like there was actually really any value, but do not, again, in this case, try not to forget them. Oh, we have blue mail too? That's pretty nice. Oh, Gem already got that one. Right. I did
yeah.
If only we had a hookshot for that hookshot pot fairy.
Yeah, if only.
That's also, yeah. The one pot, I mean, again, like, these are things that I think if you maybe have not, even in the, like, entrance, yeah, I don't think that you would even care about that fairy room whatsoever. But, again, pot sanity or pot lotto, there is one pot that you certainly, do want to care about. Tyler doing a exclusive map check here in Pots and Bones. Looks like we had not gotten anything in Light World, which is fine. Okay, so I'm trying to think in this case if Jem had actually found Hera, because at least for him, with the big key that he got in Eastern and the small key that we've already seen in this case, Tyler kind of do like the basement of Hera. It would be a pretty good. I mean, Jem can basically full clear out the entirety of the dungeon, right? Which would be quite good for him. So Tyler's gonna get this go. He's gonna clear it up probably as much as possible as Eastern. I assume he's gonna do something similar to what Jem did. It's just once he finds the big key to Eastern, he's gonna go to the back versus spending in big key chest room. We'll see. In this case, he has to go back to Hera a 3rd time for the upstairs.
That would be a decision to go back to Hera that many times.
Yeah, actually, so kind of looking at least our trackers here, we only still have that glove, right, from the front of Escape, and we haven't really. I'm just trying to think if there are other like Dark World connections that we can actually end up have. So, all right, actually, Tyler found the one that led off to Bumper Ledge, right? Because we saw him like jump off from the Murder Dactyl. I'm actually wondering how likely you would try to do like Bunny Revive and Skull Woods, like in the front, because there are actually a good amount of enemies there you can kill.
Yes,
too, right?
Skull is extremely good density. Yeah. I think it depends on how many keys you have to spend in Skull, because like you can, depending on how many keys you have, if you can like take one of the drops and then like get out of being stuck in there and continue doing other parts of Skull, if you have enough keys to
Oh,
do that, it can be really worth it. But like otherwise you have to be
true.
like, how much of Skull do I want to actually commit my time to if I'm going to get like locked in here and have to save and quit? And yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It actually did not look like that connector was maybe like a really fast one to kind of get to Dark World, but also, especially if that's kind of your only method to get into Dark World, and if you, save and quit from Skull Woods, it's not exactly like a cheap or fast trick to go back there, even especially if you don't have the Pearl. But it is maybe something that if people want to try and consider. Again, like for you are trying to complete, let's say, slightly under roughly, like half the game, right? And you are just looking for the pieces. However you get them, so long as it's, well, okay, let's use the term legal, as in you didn't use, major glitches in order to get them, however you get them is kind of just up to you, right? You have all the autonomy, and so if you think the sequence break is worth it, for your time, then you should.
There's so much just like gauging whether anything is worth it in this mode.
Yeah.
'cause-
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It is worth noting also the room in the west of Eastern here, the Stalfo spawning room, those are special. They also do not count as checks.
Oh yeah,
Because of how they spawn. Like, and you're not even, you can make them not all spawn even. So we're just like, yeah, we're not counting those in the pool.
Yeah, no, that's actually a very, very good decision. Whether it was conscious. Oh, wait, are there hints on? Is that what it said?
Yeah, actually. You know what a lot of people don't know? You know what a lot of people don't know? In the pottery modes, the hint tiles are active.
I also did learn something new about this. Amazing.
Today you learned.
Yeah, well, I don't think I've actually seen anybody check hints until just
because
now.
nobody knows they're active. Stop telling them, you're ruining my advantage.
You're right. Okay, right. Okay, chat. We saw nothing here. Did Tyler really check the hint tile in desert? I must have missed that too.
There's so much to pay attention on these two screens. I'm gonna miss stuff like that. Yeah.
Learning the pod big key somewhere. Okay, cool. Thank you. All right. Well, we will learn. I don't think we found pod yet either.
No.
Okay.
We haven't seen pod, swamp, Thieves Town. We've seen 2 entrances of TR. There's a lot of dungeon action missing. Yeah.
True.
We haven't seen GT either. Like GT would be a.
Oh yeah, GT would be actually pretty good.
Yeah, we have Samaria, and like if you want a lamp break right side, you can go for it. We're missing anything for we're missing anything for left side GT, which is where like a good chunk of density is. But yeah, like we said earlier, that middle door of GT, like you go up and get a bunch of checks just real fast there.
Oh yeah. That's actually a good point though too. Is we don't have hookshot, we don't have hammer, and because kind of big ticket items. However, like in this mode, again, do you need them to win? Need is a strong word, but I mean, like it could certainly speed things up a bit and lead you to victory, right? Because as you mentioned, right, at the end of fighting GT, you can do like all of left side, or you can start doing all the left side stuff, which is tons of stuff, right? But if you don't find it, I'm sure there are other avenues that you can get. Yeah, I think this was also pointed out earlier by Drossi. Tyler has found that quick medallion. I think it was in Mire website somewhere. But he's been certainly putting it to very good use.
Yeah. Kim, you're making a good point. Good thing Quake doesn't get rid of their items. Yeah, there's actually been, if you know how the base game works, and that if you dash through an enemy and kill it, it will not ever drop an item. Like that's been changed too. Like you can dash kill enemies, and any of them that haven't given their drop yet will still drop it. So like,
awesome.
Just
that's
improvements made to make this mode, work better and be possible.
That's awesome, actually. Like the fact that whether it's considered subtle or not, I'm not actually sure, because certainly for probably people who are more in tune with the game, probably couldn't realize this, but that is an extreme quality of life improvement in my opinion, because that actually means, again, things just move more fluidly. We don't have to necessarily try to, bend over backwards to try and, in this case, like not dash through things or, kill things. Yeah. You just want to make sure that in this case they just die one way or the other, so you can get the drop. I really like that.
Yep, or the objective is to, if you kill the enemy, you're going to get the drop no matter how you kill it. We don't want to have to make you reset a room to kill the enemy or get something.
No, that's
and
great.
Similarly with pottery, like there's been good effort made to, ensure that nothing ever despawns underneath a pot that you could need. So if it's
Oh,
like
that's
a
great.
key or,
Yeah, yeah.
or a triangle or something, the game, like, you see this actually, the best example is in Pot Prison in Skull Woods. If you lift a pot and there's like a triangle or something under it, the game will immediately despawn the pot. It's a little bit jarring because like suddenly you're not holding a pot, you're just moving again, but it is an effort to make sure that you get the item.
No, that's great. That's great. I mean, yeah, like if in this case, right? I think we've actually seen other cases when there are like sprite overloads, right, for the screen, and so
Yeah.
then things end up despawning. So it's much better if you have to suffer the despawn. That's gonna despawn something that's useless, I guess, or
Exactly,
less
yeah.
useful. Yeah. By the way, I did see that gem hit the switch so that the orange pegs are down. Or sorry,
There are,
are
there
down.
are 14,
Yeah.
14 pots up here. It's very worth
That's
it.
right. That's right. Exactly. Don't worry about your pride or whatever. This like muscle memory thing. Like, oh, I don't need to hit the switch because I don't need the. No. You need these pots. Like.
The red hard hat kicked itself into the pit immediately. Ooh, hello, Moon Pearl.
Oh,
Okay.
all right. Well.
Honestly, I'm kind of not surprised. It was starting to feel like we're gonna need it with how I think we've been through a lot of our light world entrances, and we're like a little over halfway through the triangles. I think we're getting Pearl in this one. So there it is.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and of course, yeah, with Cersei saw on Tyler's side, we did find at least one Dark World connector to kind of lead us over to North Dark World. So, and the fact that we don't have to, in this case, bunny walk or something anymore, we can actually have now like free reign of Village of Outcasts, Skullwoods, at the front of Skullwoods at least. Yeah, it certainly opens up like a ton more stuff. Looks like Gem wanted
Gem,
to
what was
try
that?
and bump back. I don't know.
Well, Gem, what was that?
We can ask him.
I think that was a silly way to exit the dungeon. Because
Okay,
we're not gonna go fight
alright.
Moldworm.
Oh yeah, I think that's all fair. I think there were some, yeah. No, well, let's see. And again, as you mentioned, like if maybe in some other circumstances, like if you end up failing a bomb jump for, or something, right? Something didn't go as planned. You're just like, okay, let me go back and do it. I don't know. In this mode, is it worth your time to kind of go back? Because now if you're only going back for like a handful of checks, right, as opposed to like the entirety of the back. So I guess we'll see.
And Jim's gonna go ahead and check out the left exit of desert here. I don't know, have we been out this side yet? I don't know what it was over here. This is Dark World. Kicks us out right near Village, so this is pretty good potentially.
Yeah,
We
this
find
is
a
very
couple dungeons over here. This will be really lucrative.
Yeah, I think as mentioned, right, Tyler is in Hera, so this is actually correct. I know he's been here 3 times now. He probably doesn't really want to take a third trip to Hera, but this is at least certainly it's gonna be very good because he's gonna pick up.
It's gonna pay off, yeah.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Hello, Sahasrala.
Yes, hello. Yes, and of course, yes, always go back to make sure that you're always of course gonna get these checks, but the pots are always important too. Never mind, the pots are not important. You can always skip the back. Okay.
Yeah, you can just never interact with Sahasrala. Just leave. He doesn't have anything useful.
Yeah. I'm of course, yeah. All my statements are based on this one exact seed. Of course, I'm just gonna extrapolate. You can extrapolate anything off of one data point. Did you know that? That's how all of statistics works.
Oh, Tyler's knockback is very wrong. He went through the okay.
Wow.
He tried doing like a very normal looking bomb jump and he just goes downward. I'm like, what did you do? Oh, very cool. All right, we're just gonna go take the normal route to the chest probably here, yeah.
Yeah,
You'll actually kill the red hard out. We'll see what it has, if anything cool. No, it's an arrow pack.
Looks like
Okay,
just
cool.
10 arrows, yeah. But I do really like the strategy though. Right? Like these, we're still on Fighter Sword on Tyler's side, right? So like the fact that he's using actually pots for ammunition, I mean, it's much faster than just the Fighter Sword strategy for these beetles.
Oh, that one's in the hole. Not getting it.
Well, all right. Well, yep. That was just dead to us forever. Don't worry about it. We don't have to visit again. Oh, we're gonna be. Are we killing Mordor? We are maybe killing Mordor.
No, we're getting out of here.
Not killing Moldorm. That's perfectly fine with me.
Hair is clean except for that one blue hard hat beetle and Moldorm. We don't care. We're out of here. Gem's making some light roll progress now. We're gonna get some entrances, find a couple dungeons ideally. Here's a K45, extremely dense location to find for how much time it takes.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you talk about actually density, right? This room is so small and packed. It's like sardines. You know?
7
And-
checks on one little screen, easy.
Yeah, it's really, really good. Yeah, so like bombable hut also is extremely valuable in this mode because there are 8 pots, right? 9 pots? 9 pots plus 2 left.
8 in the rats, it's 10, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, see, it's double digits. We just know it's
Yeah.
so many checks in one location.
Now we're gonna get started on Skull Woods here. There's a ton of density in here. We don't have any skull keys though, which is well, no, we used one on the back. That's right. We had skull keys for the back of it, and
I think Tyler still might have his, right? Because so Jem made it through Gibdo's hallway, and then he
maybe Tyler didn't do that. Yeah, you're right.
Oh no! Sorry, you need one key to get to after Fire Snake, right? Then you just get to the back. Okay, yeah. So I think both of them have used it.
Yeah, using that first key on the back is like really good though. Like there's a ton of density for it.
Oh yeah.
And in just pottery, like you can actually kind of argue that you can just use the one key for the stilly room on the left side of the middle of the skull here, but yeah, in mobbery, like there's a lot more density worth it for the back first.
For the back. Yeah, I think it would be actually pretty cool if we can actually see, for what it's worth, like the room in the upper right or whatever. I don't forget what it's called. Ooh, hello.
With a second glove. Okay.
see, if you just missed that glove, it wouldn't have mattered. Maybe I don't remember. But
we can just use we can use the Dark World portal now in Village like normal. Yay.
Yeah, in this case, man, and I think we can actually get to some of its more mislock locations. I don't know if Smith's Chain is actually, well, it doesn't really sound like it's worth it for like many instances or many modes, but I guess that is still something.
I don't even think we've seen Smith House yet, have we?
No, I don't think so. Oh, I guess with the flute now, we can also get to the Mire area with the myths.
Yeah, we had I think. Was it Tyler? One of these two connected out into Mire. I forget exactly where, but we saw some at Mire entrances already. Ice Palace and Potion Shop are over there.
Okay, cool. All right, looks like.
But yeah, Ice Palace. We can't access Ice Palace yet, which is unfortunate because it's a very good dungeon, but we don't have a way in. We're lacking Fire Rod or Bombos.
Yeah, still. Yeah, we also, by the way, speaking of Fire Rod, we actually saw that Gem did not kill the Red Bari, so I think that's part of just the way that the drops work here, because of Red Bari slash them, they split.
You have to one-shot them, which is burning. Yeah. Yeah,
so if you have Bombos, if you have Fire Rod, then you can defeat them. Otherwise, well, yeah, we are probably not going to see, that Bari is probably safe for the seed.
Yeah, probably. Gotta make sure not to let the hard hat put itself in the pit. Yep, there you go.
Yeah, and he's also trying to use the spike in order to speed things up a little bit. So you try to manipulate the movement a little bit. Yeah. But yes, you did mention, right? Skull was a ton of checks. So you see sometimes this happens more in inverted. You try and drop down to also farm the pots to get a couple bombs. Not any different here in Potolato.
Yeah, there are 12 pots in this circle here, 2 enemies to kill. You go left, there are 5 more pots. There's the 2 medium old arms by the big chest. There's so much back here.
Yeah. And this is actually probably one of those times where you actually, it's not like, I give up, I can't do the bomb, jump to the big chest. You will actually want to go to this room because there are pots back here.
I went to 153 triangles. That's a skull key in the big chest. That's very normal.
Yeah.
And we're gonna open pot prison because you just got a ton more checks that are available right now without having to go play drop roulette and find the one you want.
Oh yeah.
That's extremely convenient. See, now you're gonna see here, the magic of despawning a pot to make sure the item under it stays there. Yeah. Kill it. Right, it's not anymore. But yeah, the pot prison's that good example. And these
the fact Gem still has and Gem has Master Sword too, so he would not get grabbed. That's always good. Yeah, but I mean, Lindsay's Master Sword certainly does speed up the fight. Certainly quite a bit here because he actually spin and slash and still kill the Gibdos. Yeah, but as you mentioned though, having this one small key, I mean, now in this case you can access not only Pop Prison, you also get Compass Room. And I think to try and get all the pots and stuff before opening the Compass Chest, because that's the one that activates all the holes, makes your life and try to kill these beetles. I mean, it is harder. It's not impossible, obviously, but you know, we don't have to make our lives unnecessarily more difficult.
Small key to pod, okay. If we ever find Pod, who knows?
Yeah, if we ever find Pod, that's true. If we ever find a fire route, we can also go into ice, because, right, I think you mentioned that we saw Ice Small as well.
Yep.
Tyler's kind of just following suit here. You know, a little bit behind Gem going into Dark World, which, I mean, with the Pearl, but, I mean, he's basically getting up all of the checks here that...
Currently a difference of like a dozen triangles. They're not like hugely apart. And if we get a split and one of them finds a dungeon, the other doesn't, that could easily flip still, so...
Oh yeah, that's very, very true. Yeah, we actually did see, so the backup skull was actually looked like it was... Tyler almost fell. I was saying, back of skull didn't actually look very good, but the front of skull was, though, is actually looking quite
This
good.
compass side part of skull has been extremely good. Another small key. Bunch of keys and the 2 ice smalls. All right. Yeah. If we get access to ice, there's a lot of value coming in now potentially.
Yeah. So because this is key. Yeah. I'll go.
We have Samaria, so we can go right for the right side and get like some of the checks. We're still lacking hammer. We might not see the hammer at this rate. It just may never pop up.
Tyler tried so hard to keep the beetle, but unfortunately.
Yeah. That red heart is very good at putting itself in a hole in that room.
Yeah, as you mentioned, right, for Samaria, we certainly do have, Ice Palace, we certainly do have Samaria, and the fact that this is key drop, we need 2 keys normally to go beat the dungeon, but that being said, like, that basically just gets you a ton of access to Ice Palace, like, with 2 keys, so, yeah, I mean, assuming we can get in, that is going to be something that I think is going to be pretty
Ideally, in ice, you can get down to the pot room, ideally, because that's, like, the huge part of ice that's just, like, I want to be in this room and get, what, like 15 checks. Yeah, it's very nice.
Oh yeah. And again, we are kind of targeting towards density. I'm trying to actually think of some of the. So I didn't actually know in this case if there were stats on this or if there were. Apologies, I didn't actually read this ahead of time. But I was assuming for this mode, like I kind of would expect maybe around like the 120-ish, like to 140-ish, like kind of finish time. Just for all the times considering to kind of like open up the pots and. Chests and kind of all the exploration stuff, but I think actually just for a mode, it's like despite that you're trying to get 216 Triforce pieces, it actually is like not as maybe slow as you might think it is. Like again, just non-stop action basically the entirety of the time.
You're always getting checks. It goes fast. It goes faster than you think it's gonna be. Like because look at like Gem's side already got 170. Like we're only 46 away. It's not that many more to go, really. Like the check rate does slow down over time, as you're having to hunt longer for entrances to find more density. But yeah, it's a nice breezy mode, honestly, compared to what you think it might be.
Yeah, and we do also see maybe Tyler. I'm gonna say maybe just getting slightly less fortunate, I guess, maybe with like the heart and safety drops because he was on 4 hearts for quite some time. Ended up taking probably at least 1 unplanned early exit from the back of skull was from the Gyptos, but. Even I think as you kind of like go through, I don't even necessarily think health is maybe too much of an issue. Just kind of maybe depends on some extreme cases. Is that another Castle Tower key? Can we go back?
Yeah, we got a couple of those now, don't we?
Yeah, we have 3 according to the trackers. So again, like with 3 keys, we can still get pretty far. We can get at least to.
You can get to the circle of pots.
Which is
most of AT at that point.
Yeah. And for what it's worth, we do have the lamp, right? So no Agate dark rooms, required today. So it certainly could be pretty high value. But I mean, again, also if you're also exploring new areas, if you maybe try and hedge your bets to say, again, Fire Rod, Ice Palace is very, very much worth it. If you can find maybe like another dungeon, how many? We have 4 Mire Smalls apparently. That is also a location that we can go back to.
Yeah, and by this point we've actually got a decent amount of, we can get through like most of Mire. Like if we got Samaria, if you wanted to read the like Samaria for Mire basement, actually there are still several, there are a number of pots and stuff back there. Like it's gonna be worth to go to the basement and actually like just raid that with Samaria. We've got we had enough keys. You can clear out the dungeon. We've got a lamp for left side. Like it's not a bad idea, I think.
And we can always go visit Fishbone, one of my personal favorites of Mire that we don't really get to see otherwise. Ooh, speaking of though, we have 2 Desert Smokies.
Back of Desert.
Yeah.
Those are getting spent here. Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned this case Back of Desert has extreme density, high value. Yeah, we're actually when people are trying to like you just run past this room normally, right? Because especially with all these tiles, you just want to get out as fast as possible. There are pots here. Very, very
Yep.
good value.
6 in the entrance. That first key gets you 4, 6, 10, like 14 checks, I think, something like that. It's a
So much
bunch.
math.
The,
It
the
is.
next key gets you 4 more, which isn't like as many, but there's still great density back here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right.
Grab that triangle. Yep.
Good.
There you
Yep.
go.
Yeah, but always like these, like the public genocide room. Certainly, a lot of people have a lot of practice. Certainly killing that room. But we, again, all these other popos though, like they're ripe for the picking here.
So many triangles.
I know.
Just
Oh my
constantly
gosh, dude!
sunlock,
Yeah,
picking
it's
up all the triangles.
Dude, you see? Oh my gosh, we must have gotten at least like 7 here so far in the back of Des or something like that.
Yeah, this is very
been a
worth
lot.
it. Yeah.
Alright, this tile room though. Okay, well this room apparently was just we didn't need to go in this room whatsoever. But yeah, that was I mean, you're definitely right on the money here for being able to just if you can go back to if you do the backup desert, it's very very.
Now, where are we going next here?
Guys, let's maybe chase some glove lock locations. I guess maybe we haven't really been over here to the desert area.
Back into this
At
rock.
least on Gem said. Mm-hmm.
There's a lumberjack house. That's 2 pots. Yep. Okay.
Doing the flute a little bit early.
Oh, here's Thieves Town. Oh, it's just available actually.
Yeah.
All right.
So I don't know if you
We
can get
do not have
any-
the big key. We're getting about like 40 something checks in the front, and that's it here.
Yeah.
Almost the big key is just here.
You just said that's it. That's so good for Thieves Town. By the way,
I mean-
very good exercise. Yeah, no, it's a really good exercise for you to recognize basically how to get to all the pots.
Yes.
This is maybe
The-
something. Yeah.
The routing of Thieves Town front, if you're doing pottery mode, you want to kind of like practice this because there's actually like a really nice like flow route to it, but you got to know what you're doing. You got to know it ahead of time.
Yeah. So I would say for what it's worth, like maybe people who play more inverted starts, like maybe a bit more familiar, just because sometimes you're trying to, farm up to 20 rupees, right? So you do arrow game or like chess
Yeah.
game or something. So you're trying to figure out, okay, these are all the pots that have 5 rupees, and then you may be trying to get to those spots. But you are absolutely correct in that if you have to go get all the pots. Suddenly, because it's like so mazy at the very beginning, it's you really want to have a better idea of how to basically go about to get all the pots, as opposed to just kind of, oh, I see that pot, how did I get there, type of thing.
I'm now 30 triangles away.
Oh, there was a
You
little...
need to kill that
Yeah.
slime too. Actually, that is a kill. That is a drop.
Yeah, he's thinking about it, but it's hard to go back now. Like, I don't think he can go back unless he takes it.
Sword beam.
Oh
Let's
my
go.
gosh, amazing!
Good
Alright,
use of
that
sword
is
beams.
that's a real heads up play there. Real great usage of the fact that Gem has a master sword and he has a boomerang just in case something dropped, right? That is
Yeah.
real good heads up thinking. Yeah, it's actually talking about sequence breaks too. I think this was also maybe pointed out before. So Gem's gonna open up the bomb wall here. You can actually get the 2 pots. That's the intended way. But if you can go kill the Zyzax, you've got the boomerang, right? To basically pick up anything that they drop.
Yeah.
Like that green rupee is super worth it.
Excellent value.
Yes. Alright, so it looks like the enemies so far don't seem to be that exciting.
Oh, hey, a book.
Okay, well, we have a book. Hey, we
We
have
can
Hammer
check-
Pits Cave too.
The front entrance of Desert. And I guess Gem can also get Ether Tablet. Can I get Ether Tablet? We haven't been on top of the mountain yet? I don't know we've been up there, actually. I don't think we have.
Oh my gosh, look.
Oh,
we
the
have
hammer's
a
here.
hammer, yeah.
Now we can get. I think we can get up there now. I think we've been on top of East Mountain. I think. Maybe.
We have access. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Man, I feel like we must have been up there, but I guess I can't remember of a scene. No
Commander
connectors.
says there's no
Okay, thanks,
connectors up there.
Emir.
Okay.
Alright, I believe him. Ooh. All right. Well, Tyler here is in the 50 rupee
10
cave.
pot room.
He has, yes, he has found the fire rod actually. So suddenly, in Dark
exciting,
Warcroft's
actually.
location- It is. Yeah, you actually mentioned this case like some divergence. So Gem is here in Thieves Town. He's in Light World, so with the book you probably go chase at least finish up Desert. But Tyler with that fire source, and he knows where Ice Palace is. Like
Yeah, right now, so we've got a hammer versus fire rod divergence, like in that. I'm not sure what the Gem's case, like what you immediately do with hammer. Like, it's not like we've had any dungeons, I guess, that hammer just like it's a big deal for. But yeah, Tyler,
that's
you know
true.
where Ice Palace is. Yeah.
I mean, certainly, I think hammer would help you in Ice Palace. I mean, it's not. I mean, because you can get like you can get the map chest, for example, right? You can get the hammer block. That area on right side ice. But if you miss it, you miss. It's fine. You probably won't miss it too much.
Yeah.
So Tyler actually beelining it from Mire, but yeah.
Directly to Ice Palace here. Yeah. I think this is Potion Shop and Ice was on the right shed, I think. Yeah, we got the prime.
Yeah, this also makes sense too. Yeah, certainly like the Triforce counter is a really nice proxy, of course, to be able to kind of see, who's, let's say, quote unquote ahead. But as when it really still depends on, there's a very strong aspect of the randomizer. In this case, see, like if you can end up finding something that'll lead you to a lot more density, you could actually just overtake your opponent. So
yeah.
Yeah, I think Gem is trying it. He's
pods at the Mire entrance. These two dungeons right here could do it.
That is amazing.
This could be enough for Tyler, actually.
Now I'm really curious to see because, I mean, Gem has access to the Mire area, but it looks like he wants to at least chase some. Okay, this makes sense. He wants to chase some Myth locations because he found Myths in Skullwoods, right? So I very much understand.
Yeah. Yeah, like, Gem isn't as incentivized to go back here because, again, Ice is here, but you can't access it. Oh, Gem doesn't have the Quake Medallion either. From what was from Mire, was it? That Tyler did, I think?
It might have been from inside Mire. I want to say it was inside Mire, but that's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah, Gem has no reason to go back to the Mire area right now. This is very big for Tyler, actually.
Yeah, the fact that
what was Mire doing? What did... What was that?
Wow, dude. This is logical itemizing, Fairies are now in the pool. It's great. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, speaking of
Mire.
Yeah, Gem also was like, oh wait, I gotta kill these guys. Okay, so this is actually gonna probably lead Gem into at least maybe a similar direction because he's gonna pick up Quake here. He also has Castle Tower for what it's worth on his docket, right? Because like he has 3 keys now? Maybe 2? I can't read the tracker.
Tyler gonna give us a mimic clip. We'll see how it goes. Nice. Okay, good. Decent unbuffered going here.
That's awesome, actually. I didn't actually know that Tyler could mimic clip, but if he can. Ooh.
Too eager for it there.
Good.
Couple more. One more? One more. Oh, dang it.
He was
there. It is
really nicely done, Tyler. That's awesome. Mimic clip, by the way, yes, it is it's a cool trick. It probably has a lot more value here in Pod Lotto because again, like there are 2 bows in the pool, but the chance of you finding one of them before necessarily, let's say you find Pod, and you can actually sequence break in these, especially the fire rod with red barries and the pots and all this stuff. It's really, really good. But Gem, though, with his multitude of small keys, he can certainly get probably a lot further in Mire than Tyler was at. I don't think Tyler came with any Mire
speaking
keys.
Of bows.
Did he just...
There's a bow on right side pot
okay.
on the pot
nice,
there.
Nice.
All right, that's just a straight up bow locked bow. Very cool. Oh, there's a third sword for Gem. All right.
Oh, dude. Okay, so we have Temper Sword on Gem's side versus Still Fighter Sword on Tyler's
side. I like these item disparities we're getting laid on here in this seed.
For sure. I think Gem is certainly very happy with Temper Sword, game is playable for him. And the fact that he does have his extreme offensive power and would basically kill most things with one slash. Oh, right. Okay. Thanks, Kim. See, this is why chat's awesome.
the map of this
So
dungeon.
that
Very
makes
cool.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense because yes, you do need one key in order to go get to the Bari. So that usually means that Gem's gonna pick up Quake. Then we'll see. Well, we're at least gonna go do Fishbone. I have also been I've also been told that the right way to do the pots here is you leave the middle one for last because that's
For
the one with
the
the bunny beam.
bunny beam. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Gem's gonna lift it anyway. Whatever. I guess if you can run away from it, it doesn't matter. Big key to what? Ice Palace. Okay. Well.
Ooh.
I don't know if. I mean, Gem might.
He's already got Quick. Oh,
Gem's not gonna
Oh.
go to Ice Palace at this rate. Like.
No,
we're
no,
gonna see
probably
Gem go to
not.
Ice
He's
Palace.
yeah. Well, he's
If
he's
anything,
at
if anything,
205.
Gem takes Quake and goes back to Meyer maybe and gets Pod and that's it. We'll see here. Depends on what he decides to do.
Mm-hmm.
We're like he's 11 away. Like I don't know if we're gonna get 11 here, 11 more here in Meyer, but we'll see.
Oh, maybe he does skip Compass Chest. And there is also a couple pots leading up to the basement before. So yeah, maybe. I mean, he's got a lot of enemies here still left. Yeah, and I'm also just thinking like he can probably get a little bit further in Castle Tower as well. I mean, if he decides to go back to my area and he finds Pod, like that's also really I think Tyler's.
Yeah.
Well, Tyler's is struggle busing here with with
The Pod Arena with the Beatles. Yeah.
yeah, especially the red one. It just takes a lot more time. But I mean, like, as opposed to, Jam going there with Tempered Sword. I mean, yeah, it'll still take a little bit, but definitely not going to be as long as Tyler's. Ah, yes. Everyone loves this room. With the Sluggulous. Ooh, we have powder here? I think Tyler did find magic bats somewhere too, right? I can't remember what drop down it was.
That was at Ferry.
Okay.
Big key to GT. We haven't.
Yeah,
we're not gonna
we
find
have not
GT at this
found.
rate.
Mhm.
Who knows?
Oh, yeah. I was thinking, okay, so GT led me to think that, okay, yeah, we still can't do right side, or left side, because no
hook shot.
Yeah, but, we also have hookshot cave, too. I know that Tyler bonked the first couple chests, but, I mean, if Gem wants to try and hover out, like, the rest of the cave,
Yeah.
is he feeling up to it?
That is one of the wonders of this mode. Like there are just going to be some items and entrances you just don't find because you don't need to check so
Yeah,
much.
oh,
Like,
yeah.
They're just unanswered questions. Like I don't know where that was. We'll never find out.
For sure, yeah. Alright, let's just finish up these pots, just very nicely being able to avoid the bunny beam. Alright, well we're done here in Meyer, at least, so no compass chest, no right side Meyer, basically, which is perfectly fine. But yeah, Gem is at least only looking for 6
8
more
away.
chests, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I was looking. I swear I thought 8 in my head, and then for some reason I said 6. Yeah. Right. So it looks like Tyler's gonna finish up Dark Maze, but certainly I think Pod has been pretty productive for him. Gem is here, of course. Back
There's her last sword in Dark Maze.
Nice. That's actually that's really good for Tyler.
That is extremely good for Tyler. He finally has Master Sword at 1 hour 18. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, can I kill the beetles now? That's makes my life a lot easier.
We use 2 bombs of Death Warp here. I don't think he has a fairy this time.
That's good.
Nope, we're good.
Alright, nice use of Quake here on Gem's side. He lit one of the torches to be able to at least see stuff that's going on. I mean, like it's just a nice quality of life improvement. You don't have to. I know that people are very comfortable in dark rooms, especially Gem, but just in this case, you're trying to get everything. You can just light the torches. It's not going to be any time no loss for you.
Now, finally, Ice Palace. You see, Ice Palace is 138 checks. It is super dense. I'm kind of surprised you didn't go there first, but whatever.
True. I mean, maybe it's just really hard to avoid Pod, Like, Pod has a lot of potential as well, but I do think that you're probably right. Like, in that, once we get into Ice Palace, like, all the checks we have here, all for the enemies, right? Like, these are all, like, killable ones within, like, 1 to 2 slashes, as opposed to, like, the beetles, right?
Yeah.
That take a lot longer for you to kill. I can certainly understand that. Alright, Gems, I think he's kind of hoping in this case that we're gonna get, enough pieces in order to hit our requisite 216 count.
Yeah, we're just 3 away now. 2 away, sorry.
2 away, yeah. Are we gonna go see our good friend, the Archer dude? To 1 away? I don't know.
Agate Tower has proven pretty good triangle density here, actually.
All right, is our friend gonna have it? Oh, so
Nope.
close. Dark Archer dude did not have it, but
There
you
it
know
is.
his buddy has 216. We are done. So, all right, so that's 216 completed on Gem side. Looks like just a little over the 120 mark, which is I think really good time for this mode.
And then all you gotta do is run up here and talk to Muradali. He's gonna sift through all 216 and find the 3 real ones and put them together, make a Triforce, and that's it.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, he's a really good jeweler actually, to being able to tell which ones are the real ones so quickly. Yeah, but big GG's to Gem finishing up. Yeah, I think job very well done, and he finished on Temper Sword as well. So I think everyone was pretty happy.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I've been saying James' name wrong the entire time. I'm sorry. It's Jam, not Gem. Please excuse me. But see, like Tyler's name was like just shortened, so I never had to embarrass myself by not saying it properly either. Looks like Tyler's gonna at least go through the conveyor room like the regular way, because yes, there are pots here and there's enemies and all of the the dark shadow dudes. I mean, a bit more doable certainly with Master Sword to be able to take out, but they can still drop things. So
Yeah, all these shadows in the conveyor room, they actually all have drops. Like you might think that the weird enemy doesn't have a drop to it. It actually does.
it does, yes. This is when the boomerang really shines in this conveyor belt room, because you don't got to try and squeeze into those very narrow hallways. Yeah. And also kind of nice for
killing the shadows actually. Okay.
Oh yeah. I was also thinking like he also doesn't have to do Ice Palace Bomb Jump. Like yes, like you still can, but Tyler's short a hammer, and the chance of you wanting to actually finish this dungeon, is pretty low.
Unlikely.
So.
It's not bad to get down to the last room, because there are 6 enemy sprites and 4 pots, or 6 pots and 7 pot checks in that room.
Yeah.
Actually.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm like, wait a second, how many actually are there? 7. No. There's 3 pots, 6 sprites. Yeah, that sounds correct. Or 5 pots.
3.
There are several checks in the bottom room of Ice Palace.
That sounds great. That sounds great. Yes, we are going to find out together. When Tyler gets over there.
Yeah, it looks like Tyler's gonna finish it out here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all good. So. Yeah, no hookshot makes things a little bit I would say risky. But yeah, we have no hammer, so we can't really do anything on the right side anyway. But yeah, like just in terms of health, you kind of just need something raw, like raw amount of health, heart containers or whatnot, or invincibility if you have it, in order to get through those spikes. Just the fact that we are just a tad low on it makes me a little bit more wary.
Yeah.
It's like Tyler's all good.
Yeah, he's gonna get hit on the way down here. 1 heart. Yep.
Oh, he has a potion.
We have a blue. Yep. We found potion shop earlier. He stocked up. We're good.
Oh, right. Oh, it looks like we are joined here by today's winner, Jam. GG's.
Hello, Jam.
Hello. I'm jamming.
Well, that's what Mike wrote your name as. So and we've been saying Jam the entire time wrong. So we do apologize for not saying your name correctly.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah, but
GG's,
like
congratulations.
I mean, yeah, it looks like you nice easy breezy 108 out of 108 in escape. Good job.
Yes, the guide spawned. I was very happy about that.
Yeah, overall, any thoughts about I think maybe one thing that I think you and Tyler both tried to do is do the back of Skullwoods on Fighter Sword. Tyler was probably less, I would say successful in getting past the Gyptos, but you went there. Like, is that something that you actually still wanted to go do actively? Because it's still a bit more tedious, harder with Fighter Sword, right?
I really regretted doing that.
Okay.
But I was like, oh, I already spent this key, now I gotta commit, and then I think I got 2 pieces out of the entire bag or something, so it felt pretty awful.
Yeah, I don't actually know in this case. Yeah, I think that you were probably thinking, maybe a few instances where it's just that you were trying to decide what you wanted to do, because you're probably faced with more decisions. But overall, seemed to work out pretty well.
Yeah, I definitely can't complain. I think 120 is my fastest time in this one, in this mode.
Yeah, nice.
So. pretty good. It's kind of weird to reflect on a Pots and Bones seed because you like just go places and do things, and then eventually you're done.
It is a lot of just doing things, yeah.
Yeah.
You just kind of you see a dungeon, you clear as much of it you can, or in the case of like Ice Palace here, like you go back whenever you can access it and do as much as you can. Then yeah, peace out, go somewhere else, find more triangles.
Yeah, pretty much. Where did Tyler find the fire rod?
Dark Bonk Rocks.
Oh, okay.
Near the Bonk shop, yeah. That was the 50 rupee cave, and he found at least one piece and fire rod. And then he went back to the Mire area, and like Pod was there as well. I think locked behind Quake. So.
Yeah. Pod was Quake locked at my entrance. But Pod like didn't really actually have that many in it.
Yeah, that's also very true.
I think Mike was saying he's like had like 6 in chat. So yeah, he's an AT now. We saw from Gem's side that AT was very loaded with triangles. This was the correct choice to make.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like whenever I'm like just a couple pieces short, I always end up in Aga Tower in this mode.
In Aga Tower,
it's a great decision, you know. It's a great.
Yeah,
how
like,
can you go wrong?
That's what it feels like it goes. Like you find AT early, you do like the first floor, get 4 kills, then you leave, and then you come back later when you have like 3 small keys, and you're like, I'll just probably finish off here. That's just how it works out. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. And I feel like my last 3 seeds I finished in Aga Tower. It's actually kind of fun.
I saw that you did not practice enough to get gamble game, or maybe you could choose a different chest to open. You know, just a constructive suggestion.
I don't know, I always tend to open the right chest, you know, because it's right.
It doesn't seem like it's working out, no.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think they're onto you. They know you're going to pick the right chest. They're always going to load it with the bad prize.
Yeah.
I mean, in this one, I technically never played the gamble game.
You lose all the gambles you don't make. I don't think that's how that goes, but I'm going to stick with it.
That's exactly how that goes. We've all played enough random to know.
Yeah. Good point, actually.
So this is your
catwalk room.
match? Oh yeah, that's right.
Go ahead.
You know, no. Actually, we can watch Tyler finish up. Yeah, this is actually enough pieces, right? You got.
This catwalk room had a ton of triangles in it. Yeah, he'll be done here momentarily.
Okay, you're right. I'm always really nervous about throwing pots at enemies, like when they're, you know. Well, okay, I don't think you killed that one either, John. So.
No, you didn't kill that.
No, I suddenly had the urge to go to the next room when I got to 215.
Our friend did not drop the piece, but his friend dropped the piece. One more.
We're going to the most dense floor here. You'll find one more, most likely.
Surely, yeah.
Not a magic, not a fight. Oh, there's the ice rod. Oh, cool.
Look, we have an ice rod. Something else to also use a bunch of magic on.
Oh, there's a magic drop.
Oh,
That's convenient.
Oh, that is actually super nice.
There we go.
But we're done. Right. It's all good.
Out of here.
Oh yeah, So Tyler, for what it's worth, he mimic clipped right side pod, and he found a bow. And one of the
there was a bow locked bow.
It was great.
Yeah. With no idea where the other one is. Never find it.
Yeah, I think overall, I think Tyler did a great job.
Yeah. No flippers ever show up. No mirror. For how fast he finished, like there was no mirror. Like this one was really kind with the entrances, and like at that point, like.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I was able to find a lot of dungeons.
Yeah.
Which basically that's just what you do in this seed, right? You find in this mode, you find dungeons, and that's where you get all your Triforce pieces.
Yeah.
Hi. We also joined. Yo, Tyler. GG's.
GG's, Tyler.
Oh man, my goal was to lose by less than 15 minutes, and we did it.
So we got there. Hello. Awesome.
I actually think that you played very well. I mean, you found actually. So I think for what it's worth, Pod. I think if Pod paid out more, it would have been. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how close it would have been. Like you could have actually been ahead. I don't know, maybe depending on the desi. But like Pod was very unlucky for you, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, there was very little in there other than the locked bow, which I thought was funny.
Yeah, we just
is a classic. Yeah, as soon as I saw that was Quake. I was like, oh, okay, let's do this. And it was like a dungeon because my plan was to go to Ice Palace immediately, as soon as I could, because I love Ice Palace.
Yeah,
and
it's an extremely good dungeon in this mode. Yeah.
But I was probably a little bit too sloppy in the early game. My attempts at 4-heart fighter sword green mail mire did not go very well. And so I lost a little bit of time there, but I never went to any of the southern light world, just not a single check south of Link's house, which is fun.
That's pretty amazing. I did end up going there late in the sea because I had the entire south left and I had the entire north left.
Yeah, no, I just my approach to this mode and True Pot Hunt is just check Scober and follow everything and just kind of take what it gives you. And I just always had a better option than going down to South Shore, but I'm not sure if there was anything there. But I think I did like too many. That got me into trouble because it meant that I ended up triple dipping Tower of Hera, even though I got like decent traversal back there. You know, if I had been a little bit more thorough, I would have had the small key and maybe even the big key before going there, which would have saved me a bunch of time. But once I got the Moon Pearl up there, I was like, all right, let's go to the Dark World, whatever, and just never went back to South Shore.
Yeah, you and Jem both got their pearl like pretty close to each other, probably within like a few minutes, honestly. I mean, so Jem got Jem was also fortunate enough to single dip Hera because he found the small key and the big key together. So then when he found the pearl, but you were only, like I said, only a couple minutes, and then both went into Skullwoods, the front of Skullwoods at least, and then the last major point of divergence was you went to Bonk Rocks to go for your fire rod, and then you went to Pot and Ice versus Jem went to Mire. Yeah, that's where you went.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out when I was gonna to Mire because there's a bunch there, but the opportunity just never presented itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and when Jem went there, it looks like you have 4 keys, right? So Jem was having to do a lot more than when you found it first, which I think Kamir said reminded you only had 1 key, so you know you can't really do much. So, I mean, you still can do a lot, but you can't obviously do as much.
Right, yeah. So that's why I bailed after struggling in there for a minute or 2 minutes or so. I was just like, you know what? I have 1 key. I'm dying to one touch and everything in here. I'm just gonna come back later.
Yeah, that was also really unfortunate because like you were on 4 hearts for so long and fighter sword, and you were so fragile. It's like everything just like. I don't know where Jem found 2 extra hearts at the time because I think you were on 6 hearts pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, those really did help a ton.
But yeah,
one thing I've learned about Pots and Bones is you are always short on hearts until like 1 hour in. Because for some reason you just find everything except hearts.
All these, you know, you get lots of small magics and 10 arrows and whatever instead of heart containers. So, but GG's, this was fun.
Yeah, this was actually really fun. I mean, yeah, it sounds like certainly it's very fun to play. It's very fun to watch, in my opinion. You know, again, like there's just like nonstop action, right? So even you guys doing tile room, right? Is it's still kind of like it doesn't seem as boring, I guess, or as trying to pass the time. Yeah.
Hera Basement is what, like 9 checks instead of 1 in.
Yeah, Hera Basement is so many more. Yeah.
More than that. It's like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 14, 15 checks.
Yeah, it's a bunch. It's way more worth it to get that 1 key. You're like, oh, Hera Basement's exciting now. Yeah.
At Homewrecker.
Right.
Hera Basement's good.
So speaking of Homewrecker, right. I know that you've played Homewrecker already, Tyler. So like, well, go. Yes. So first off, like, when is game 2 between you two? If you've
we stealthily played it yesterday, actually. We scheduled it and then played it like an hour later.
Okay.
So we Home and I split. I won in Inverted Christmiser and he beat me in this by a couple minutes yesterday. So.
Okay, cool. So
but, yeah.
have you and Jem, I guess, like have you two scheduled game 2 yet, or is that still
Have not.
TBD?
I am.
Not yet.
I'm crazy busy this week and am traveling next weekend, so I will probably have to not do the rest of my races until after next weekend.
Okay.
So
Okay, that's all good. I mean, it sounds like you guys have time, right? This is like it's 4
yeah,
weeks.
it runs until like the end of this phase runs until like the end of the month. So
Okay. Yeah. So.
Yeah, we have time.
Yeah, take your time, enjoy. You know, I mean, I do for what it's worth. Like these modes seem, you know, at least like pretty fun to play. So like, you know, it's just a very, I think, like laid back, you know, kind of like nice tournament, right?
yeah, it's really fun, and I'm not like super invested in going far in this. If I don't make it out of groups, I'm totally fine with it. I really enjoyed the qualifiers. I enjoyed the 12 days Venomizer. I enjoy playing all of these. It's a lot of fun. So
Having fun in rando. Oh, I'm so happy.
Yeah,
imagine having fun playing this game.
Yeah.
that's how we have AVIANART. It's keeping things
I think it's
fresh
great.
and lots of
Yeah.
memes and really interesting new modes. It's a lot of fun here. Yeah.
Just the nice little meme as hard as you can break before main starts up again in a couple months.
That's right. that's
Yeah,
right.
before we get back into there's another big tournament to be all serious about. Yeah.
Mhm. Well, speaking of though, so I learned before this race that the lemon rumped warble is native to like Nepal and like Bhutan, that
Oh.
area. So if you're interested in traveling, you know, as part, you know, you could use this tournament as an excuse to go.
Yeah.
Go
So
check
if
out
you-
a cool bird.
I'm not a birder. Not very good at telling different birds apart. And it's just like, oh hey, do you see that bird? It's like, yep, it's a bird.
I guess you could look at the rump of the bird, and if it's lemon colored and you know
That's
it
true.
warbles, you know,
Yeah.
like it could be a lemon rumped warbler.
There you go.
I'm,
Today you've learned.
Yeah, see?
TIL, yeah.
I'm actually
Uh,
impressed that these are all real birds. I thought
Yeah.
I just like made up names.
Every single one of them is a real bird. Yeah. Jem, do you want to decide what mode we're playing right now?
Do it. Let's hear it.
I think you have to decide, right? Don't I?
So you
just
get a
have to
veto.
say? Yeah, I veto Trinity. All right, what are we playing, Tyler?
Okay. Let's play. Screw it. Let's play MMM.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
just some mystery. Let's go.
Alright. Are you gonna do ordeal?
Well, yeah, do you want to do audio?
I didn't want to do.
I don't know. It's some
Okay.
crazy setting that I think.
maybe
like,
I'll
I'll
think about it and we can talk about it later.
I heard it's quite the ordeal. That's probably how the name came about.
Even
To
if
play
I
that
got
mode.
like the free time, it would have to be on a weekend like this to do an RDL. But I think
Suffice
our
to say, those ones probably take longer because there are
Yeah.
more things they can do.
just a bit, yeah, just a bit. Throw some doors in there. I feel like I need to pick something that's pretty variable. That's got a lot of variance to have a shot against Jem, whose execution is way better than me. So we'll go for something that could throw some wacky nonsense in there and see what happens.
Sounds good. I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
And then right, okay, and then I think the rest of them. So you still have to play pool float, right, Tyler?
I still have 2 races against Pool Float, who I think has been struggling with some hardware issues.
Oh, no.
But yeah,
no.
I think he'll get it figured out eventually, I'm sure, and we'll touch base after I get back from my trip this weekend.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, like I said, you know, like there's no rush, there's plenty of time. And I think Jeb, you still have Homewrecker, right? That's.
Yeah, 2 against Homewrecker and the 1 match against Tyler. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, those should be fun. You know, I'd say like I think this group actually I think is quite fun. Yeah. Lots of like, you know, fun people to play, you know, fun modes to also play on. So, you know, definitely looking forward to
That's
the
what I do with my group. Home's a good friend of mine, and Jem is great at this, and I don't know Pool Float almost at all, and so I'm always excited to meet and race somebody new.
Oh,
So
yeah. Pool Float actually for what he was at SGL. I don't really think I got much of a chance to talk to him, but he's actually just like he's a nice guy, like super
Yeah.
chill. So
Yeah,
that's
he
great.
helped out a lot with like main tournament and stuff too. Like he's been
Yeah, he is. Oh yeah. Yeah,
Restream
he's done a lot of
guru.
restreaming. Yeah. So Pool Float's obviously he's just like a very gentle, like good guy. He's very friendly. So yeah.
By the one last thing, shout outs to this Triforce text, which was my suggestion.
which is
so-
was this a coop mode?
was this a coop mode?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Okay. All right. Well, apparently we were gonna race something. So thank you guys so much for racing. This was again a lot of fun. So enjoy. But hopefully next week's not too overwhelming for Tyler. But enjoy your time.
We'll be good. I got two Atomizer tournament races, maybe even 3 in the next 2 days. So.
Oh wow.
Oh, good luck.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yeah, enjoy.
But yeah, GG's Gem, and thanks for the comms, adding Clear Mouse and Mike for the restream.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Adalor. Yeah. And thanks, Mike, for doing the restream last minute. You know, really glad this all came together.
Yeah, thanks so much for the restream and the commentary, guys.
All right. Okay. We'll leave it up to you, Mike, if you want to do anything. we have rated Vex